I'm Mrs. EK, and today we are going to work on spelling. Yes, so we are going to have base words. Those base words, we're going to add a suffix ed. But we're going to look at some special rules that usually apply when we have to add the suffix ed to a base word. And we'll see how the spelling might have to change in order for that to be a new word. All right? So today our words are going to be verbs. Do you remember what a verb is? Yeah, it's an action word, right? It tells what someone or something is doing. Well, we're adding the suffix ed today. Ed is added to a verb usually to show that something already happened. Yeah, like it's in the past tense. All right, scholars, so I hope you have your paper and your pencil ready, and you can follow along with me. All right, scholars, let's look at our first spelling rule. The first rule is a 1-1-1 rule. If the base word is one syllable and ends with one vowel, one consonant, we will double the final consonant and then add ed. Okay, well, let's talk about that. When there is one syllable and it ends with one vowel, one consonant, we usually know that that means the vowel is going to have a short sound. Let's pause and review the vowels that have short sounds. Here's the letter A, short sound, ah. Here's the letter E, short sound, eh. Here's the letter I, short sound, eh. And here's the letter O, short sound, ah. And here's the letter U, short sound, So when we have those one-syllable words that end with a short vowel consonant, we want to keep that vowel a short sound. So what do we do before we add our suffix ed? We're doubling that final consonant. So let's look at an example. The word hug. Hug is one syllable. Hug. It ends with one vowel, one consonant, which means that our vowel is short, right? We want to keep it short. So we're going to double that last consonant, which is a G. So it's GG and then add ed, right? I like to hug my sister when she walks in the door. I hugged my sister when she walked in the door. You see that? All right. So we have present tense and then we have past tense. All right, scholars, we're going to practice our 1-1-1 rule. Here's our word hop. Hop is one syllable. Hop. It ends with one vowel, one consonant. We want to keep our vowels short. So before we add ed, we need to do what? Double the final consonant. The final consonant is the consonant that's at the end. Okay? So when we rewrite this, we'll still write hop. We'll write that final consonant one more time and then add ed. And we have hopped. The bunny likes to hop in the yard. The bunny hopped in the yard, right? It means the bunny already hopped. Nice. All right, let's do another one. Our next word is plan. Okay, plan is one syllable. Plan. It ends with one vowel, one consonant. We want to keep that vowel short. So what are we going to do before we can add ed? We will double that final consonant. Nice job. I have to plan the birthday party. But if you already did it, you would say, I planned the birthday party. Nice job. Let's go ahead and try spelling the word planned. I like how you're giving it a shot on your own. Nice try. Let's check your work. All right, so I'm going to have the word plan. But before I can add ed, I'm doubling that last consonant, then adding ed. I planned the birthday party. All right, let's look at our next word. What is this word? Skip. Yeah. When I was young, it was hard to skip. But then I learned, right, and I knew how to do it. And so I skipped everywhere. All right, skip is one syllable. Skip. It ends with one vowel, one consonant. That's our final consonant right there. Go ahead and try to write the word skipped. All right, scholars, let's check your work. So you keep the base word skip. Remember, these are action words, verbs. And we're doubling that last consonant and then adding our ED. Skipped. Great work. All right. And our last verb is jet. Now, when we're using this as a verb, it might mean to run somewhere really fast, right? Because you might be late for something. So maybe you're late for your next class and your mom says, you better jet to class, right? And so if you already did it, you did what? Jetted to class. Nice work. All right. So jet is a one-syllable word. Jet. It ends with one vowel, one consonant. There's our final consonant. Go ahead and try spelling the word jetted. All right, let's check your work, scholars. So remember, we keep jet, double that final consonant, and then add ED. Jetted. All right, scholars, let's look at our next spelling pattern. The next rule we're going to look at is the dropping rule. The dropping rule is when we have a word with a silent E at the end. Let's read it. If the base word ends with a silent E, drop the E and then add ED. Let's look at that. So bake. In the word bake, there's a silent E at the end. Doesn't make a sound. So I like to bake in the kitchen. But if we want to use it and add ED and make it past tense, we would say, I baked in the kitchen all day. If we were to keep that silent E, the two E's together might make the long E sound. And then we would have a word like bake-eed. That doesn't sound right. We only need one of the E's. All right? So our rule is to drop the E in the base word and then add ED. All right, let's give it a shot. So I have the word hope. I hope I get a bike on my birthday, right? But if I already did that, say my birthday already passed, that means I hoped for a bike on my birthday. Nice. All right, so let's look at the word hope. Hope ends with a silent E. So we need to get rid of that E, and then we can add ED, and we'll have the word hoped. And remember, you can follow right along with me. Only one ED. Hoped. I hoped for a bike. All right, let's look at our next word. The next word is manage. I managed to keep all of my things organized. That's not true. So if I want to say that I already did it, I would say I managed to keep all my things organized. Nice job. Manage ends with a silent E. So what do we do with it? Yep, you just get rid of it. You drop it, drop that E, and then we can add our ED. Nice. Why don't you go ahead and try spelling the word managed on your own. When you're finished, look up here and check your work. Managed. How'd you do? Nice. All right, the next word is line. The teacher might ask you to line up for lunch. If she already asked you and you already did it, you lined up for lunch. Nice job. Line ends with a what? All right, try writing that word on your own first. Lined. All right, scholars, check your work. So hopefully you dropped that silent E before adding ED. So you had line, lined. We lined up for lunch. All right, scholars, let's look at our last spelling pattern. This rule is called the changing rule. If the base word ends with Y, change the Y to I and then add ED. All right, so we're looking for Y at the end of the base word. So for an example was carry. Like, I will help you carry your things. If you already helped that person, you carried their things. Nice job. So we had to change that Y to an I, and then we were able to add that ED and have the word carried. All right? Let's try some over here. Oh, and look, our word is try. We will try to spell the word correctly, right? Try ends with what letter? With a Y. So we're going to change it to a I. It helps that it rhymes. It kind of helps you remember it. Change the Y to an I, and then we can add ED. All right, so let's go ahead and write the word tried. We tried spelling the word. And we did it! Ding, 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 ding. All right. Our next word is study. If you are going to study your spelling words, that's a good idea, right? If you already did it, you studied your spelling words. Nice. All right, so study ends with what letter? With a Y. So we're changing that Y to an I. All right, go ahead and try spelling the word studied on your own. All right, when you're ready, you can look up here and check your work. All right, studied. Yeah. All right, scholars. And then we have the word copy. I am going to copy that drawing. But if you already did it, you copied that drawing. Nice job. All right, look at that letter that's at the end. It's a Y. Go ahead and try it on your own first. Try to write the word copied. All right, hopefully you changed that Y to an I, and then you were ready to add ED. All right, so you had copied. Copied. Great work, scholars. All right, scholars, let's review the rules that we learned when adding the suffix ed to a word. We have the 1-1-1 rule. Do you remember what that was? If the word is one syllable and it ends with one vowel, one consonant, what do we got to do before we add ed? Double. Nice. We need to double the final consonant. Great job. All right. What about the dropping rule? What do you remember about the dropping rule? Okay. So if the word ends with a silent E, we have to drop that E because we're adding a ED, right? We don't need double E's. So when we have that silent E, drop it, then add ED, and then we'll have our new word with our suffix ED. All right, and what about the changing rule? What do you remember about changing rule? Great, yep, change the Y to an I. So if our base word ends with a Y, we have to change it to an I, and then we can add ED. Scholars, maybe while you're working at home, you can see if you can figure out which rules these words apply to.
This program is made possible in part by the Michigan Department of Education, the State of Michigan, and the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. Additional support by, and by viewers like you. Thank you.